friends, welcome back to another episode of Heart to Palate, and today's recipe is Gujarati Undhiyu, which is a winter special recipe I want to share with you all. And this recipe I learned from Neeruben, who is my best friend's mom, Neeru auntie, and she is one of the best cooks I've come across. We learned a lot of things from her, and this is her specialty. So I'm sharing auntie's recipe with you all, and thank you auntie so much for sharing your precious recipe with us. And let's get started. So for the recipe, I'm going to start with making muthiyas, which is an integral part of making undhiyu. For that, I've taken 1 cupful of wheat flour, then about 1/4 cupful of besan or gram dal flour. Even I've taken 2 tablespoons of Sooji just to give that little grainy feel to the flour, because my wheat flour is not that grainy, because the auntie wanted that kind of flour, but we don't get it over here. So I'm just adding 2 tablespoons of Sooji or Rava to this. I've added salt, sugar. I've added mixture of a coarse mixture of cloves of garlic and green chilies and haldi, and I've also added sugar and red chili powder and about 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds to this. And I've taken about 1 bowl full of, which is 3/4 cups of methi leaves, fresh methi leaves I've taken and chopped finely, and I'm going to add it to this. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of hot oil as moon, so that it will become nice and crispy muthiyas. And I'm going to show you how to do the next step now. So I'm going to start kneading the dough for the muthiyas now. I'm going to add about 3/4 cups of finely chopped fenugreek leaves or methi leaves, and I've already added the hot oil, 2 tablespoons of it, to give that nice crispy texture to our muthiyas. I'm just going to mix all the ingredients first, and I'll judge how much water I need to add to this now. I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoonful of Eno or fruit salt, just to make them a little crispy, the muthiyas, and I'm going to start adding the water. To make sure the dough is quite tight, it's not too loose. It has to be a tight dough when we mix it. So I don't think I added more than maybe 1/4 cup of water. So just अंदाज से पानी डालना है आपको बस, that's all. So I've already kept the oil for heating, and I'm going to start making small muthiyas out of this dough. Muthiya means like a mutti, you have to make the shape like so. So you're going to make small muthiyas out of this dough. As I was saying, this recipe I learned from our dear Neeruben, a Neeru auntie, and she is one of the most energetic person I've ever seen. At this age also, she's 76, and with the hemoglobin level of 5 and 6, this lady manages to make about 40 kgs of achar, and quietly, she won't even tell her family members, and she would sell it off, and like her order goes to like London and different places. She makes something called Undhiyu, which is like typical winter's snack असतं, which is made like ladus आहे म्हणतो, मेथीचे लाडू type. That's the one auntie makes, and she sells them, and she's like amazing salesperson too. You should talk to her, and she's a top seller of Tupperware in Mumbai. And hats off to auntie for her amazing level of energy and enthusiasm. I hope you'll bless us with that kind of energy, and hope we'll be able to carry forward your legacy like this. And food is her passion basically. So thank you so much auntie for teaching me this recipe, and I hope I'll do justice to your recipe. And I'm just going to finish making them, and I'm going to start frying them. So now you can see all my muthiyas are done. I'm already heating up my oil, and I'm going to start frying them now. So now oil is already heating up. It's already heated. I tried putting 1 small ball of the muthiya, and it's already rising. So it's perfectly hot. So I'm going to start putting the muthiyas now. And you have to make sure that it's on medium flame, not too high. So now you can see our muthiya is a nice golden brown in color, and I'm going to take them out now. And likewise, I'll finish frying rest of the muthiyas, and I'll show you the next step for the Undhiyu. I'm going to drain them over tissue paper. So the key ingredient for making Undhiyu is the fresh garlic. So it comes like your spring onions. So it has that green leafy portion to it which you have to use. But I could not get hold of the fresh garlic this time. It was not available. So I just got the frozen version. So it's chopped garlic, about 1 cupful of that I've taken. And then you're going to grind mixture of this along with the freshly grated coconut, about 1 cupful, and 1 whole bunch of fresh coriander leaves I've taken. So that 1 whole bunch I'm using. So that makes the base of this Undhiyu. And then I'm going to add the dry masalas to this paste once I make it. And you have to make it like a coarse paste, not too fine paste. And then I'm going to stuff that into the eggplants. I've taken about 7 to 8 medium-sized eggplants, you can see, and about 7 to 8 small potatoes I could find them. So I've just given them a slight slit into them, and I'm going to stuff them. And another key ingredient for Undhiyu is the Surati papadi. So I've just cleaned it, and make sure that you take off the string like that. So you have to cut the ends of it first and then take off the string and then open them up. That's all. So that's all it to clean this Surati papadi. And you have to use the danas which come out of those Surati papadi as well. So I've added, in addition to that Surati papadi, I've also used 1 cupful of Surati lilva, it's called, dana, from the beans that come out of the Surati papadi. And then I've also taken about 1 cupful of fresh green peas, 1 cupful of Toor, which is pigeon peas, it's called, fresh pigeon peas, that I've taken. Then Undhiyu also incorporates all the seasonal vegetables. So it has lot of kanda, which is called underground vegetables. It's called purple yam, and also the sweet potato. I've taken 2 small size sweet potatoes cut into big cubes like so, and also the purple yam, which is called kand. I've made like big pieces out of it, like about inch size. And I've taken Suran. I could not find fresh Suran, so I had to use the frozen version. So that I'm using. And also the banana, which is raw banana, and you have to take it along with the peel. Don't take off the peel. And I've made about 1 inch size thickness pieces of it. And I'm going to show you the next step now. So this is the ground masala of fresh garlic, coriander, and freshly grated coconut. To that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of hot oil now, which I'm just going to use out of the same oil. And I'm going to add the rest of the dry masalas to this. So now to this ground mixture, I'm going to add about teaspoon of haldi to this, about 4 teaspoons of Kashmiri red chili powder, about 6 teaspoons of dhana jeera powder, which is coriander and cumin powder, and about 3 tablespoons of garam masala. So this all dry masalas are going in here. And also I've taken 4 tablespoons of sugar and about 3 tablespoons of salt, and I'm going to add that also to the mixture. So this is the base masala which we're going to stuff in our eggplants and our potatoes. I'm just going to stuff this masala into our eggplants. Likewise, I'm going to also stuff them in the potatoes. I'm going to stuff all the masala likewise. So now you can see all my eggplants and potatoes are stuffed with the masala. And what I'm going to do is, all the skunk pieces and the sweet potato also, everything I've taken in one of the cooker container, and I'm just going to cook this in my instant pot for about, I would say, low pressure 3 minutes. Just I'm going to take one steam, and then I'm going to add this to our main Undhiyu, because it will take long time to cook if we cook it outside. That's why I'm just going to steam them in my instant pot for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to spread some masala over this also. And just make sure that it's nicely seasoned. So I'm just going to cover this skunk pieces and the sweet potato pieces with the masala, with the leftover masala, and I'm just going to put it in the instant pot for about 3 minutes low pressure to cook this. So in another container I have taken the raw banana pieces and the Suran pieces, and I'm just going to put that in an instant pot for about 3 minutes low pressure. I'm going to cook this now. So for the actual vagar or tadka of the Undhiyu, we're going to begin with 6 tablespoons of oil. I'm using the same oil that I fried my muthiyas in, so it's already flavorful with the methi ka flavor. And to this oil, I'm going to add about 3 teaspoons of mustard seeds and about 3 teaspoons of jeera or cumin seeds. Let it splutter. I'm going to add about half a teaspoonful of hing or asafoetida. To this I'm going to add my Surati papadi. I have taken about half a kg, which is 1 pound of Surati papadi I have taken. I'm just going to stir this in. To that I'm going to add about 1 cupful of green peas, about cupful of Toor, which is pigeon peas, fresh तोरीच्या शेंगा जे असतात त्याच्यातले तूर आहे ही, that I'm adding. Then I'm going to add the lilva, it's called, जे ह्याच्यातल्या शेंगा असतात सुरती पापडी त्याच्यातले हे दाणे आहेत. I'm adding about cup and a half full of those. It's called surti lilva, and I'm just going to stir them in. Add about a teaspoon of haldi to this and keep stirring. Now I'm going to add the rest of the ground masala which is left over, that I'm going to add. It's already smelling so amazing. Keep stirring for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'm just going to lay my eggplants and potatoes in this mixture. I'm just going to keep the papadi on the side, and I'm just going to lay my eggplants and potatoes which we have stuffed with our masala into bottom of this pan. That's why you want a wide bottom pan when you're making the Undhiyu also. So I'm just going to move this papadi to the side, and I'm just going to leave my eggplant. I'm going to add some water to it because you want your undhiyu with the gravy. You don't want it completely dry. In the same mixer jar that I ground the masala, I just rinsed that jar and I'm going to add the water from that mixer jar after rinsing that jar to the undhiyu mixture now. So it will form nice gravy. It's about 1 cupful of water, I would say. And I'm just going to cover this pan now. And we'll wait until the surati papadi and potatoes and the eggplants get completely cooked. Okay, and I'm going to leave the flame on medium and cover my pan now. So it's been exactly 25 to 30 minutes that my potatoes and my eggplants were cooking. Let's check if they're done now. And also our turiya, the surati papadi, if they're done. I'm pretty sure it's all cooked. And let's check the potatoes also if they are done. Yes. So another 5 minutes anyways, we are going to add our muthiyas and cook. So it will completely get cooked by then. So I'm going to add my kand and my yam also. Purple yam, which is kand, and the Suran, and also the kacha banana, which is raw bananas that we had added. So I'm going to mix those ingredients now. And also the sweet potatoes. Let me just turn this over first. Let's mix this so nicely it will come along. Squeeze a juice of 1 lemon to this now at this stage. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt to this at this stage because it might require a little bit of salt, I think, and about a tablespoon of sugar. So I'm going to add my muthiyas now. Look at that. These are the highlight of the undhiyu basically. Everybody loves to have at least 1 or 2 muthiyas when they're eating, having a bite of undhiyu. And I'm just going to let it cook for another 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to cover the pan now. And our undhiyu would be ready. Thanks to Neeruben for sharing your wonderful recipe. And enjoy this undhiyu with garma garam fulka or khichdi and kadhi. And I'm going to cover the pan. Now undhiyu should be ready in next 5 to 7 minutes. Winter special undhiyu is ready to be served. Thanks to Neeruben once again for sharing her wonderful recipe. The recipe is in the description box below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Heart to Palate.